Welcome back, students. Welcome to the video lecture in Signal and Systems. In the previous video lecture, we have covered sampling theorem, that a continuous time signal mt, which is having a Fourier transform represented by m omega when multiplied by a signal ct, that is the periodic impulse train, then we will get a sampled signal st. Okay, and in the previous video lecture we have seen that in frequency domain s omega is equal to 1 by t naught sum n is equal to minus infinity to infinity m omega minus n omega s. So this is a sequence. Okay, so this is a sequence of the Fourier transform which are placed according to the value of n. So today in this video lecture we will discuss about what is Nyquist sampling theorem. Okay, so Nyquist sampling theorem is about recovering this original signal from its sampled portion. Okay, so as you have seen, the signal is sampled which is in discrete time domain. So we wanted to recover the signal in continuous time domain after it is used. Okay, after the signal is used, then we wanted to recover the original signal from its sampled portion. So whenever the sampling is done, okay, so if the omega s, the sample frequency, is greater than twice the maximum frequency in the signal. Okay, so Nyquist sampling theorem says when we are recovering a signal from the sampled signal, then if sampling frequency, that is omega s, if omega s is greater than twice the maximum frequency content omega m, as you can see in the figure that ct mt, the signal in continuous time domain have a maximum frequency in the signal that is represented by m omega m. Okay, m omega signal में जो maximum frequency है that is represented by omega m. So whenever the signal we wanted to recover, then the sampling frequency, जब भी sampling करी जाएगी, then the sampling frequency must be greater than 2 times the value of the maximum frequency contained in the signal. Okay, then the signal can be recovered back from its sample. If this condition is satisfied, only then recovering the signal will be possible successfully. Okay, then recovering original signal is successful. So the Nyquist sampling theorem says that the discrete time domain signal, that is sampled signal, can be or the continuous time signal will be recovered from its sampled signal successfully only if the frequency of sampling, that is omega s, will be greater than 2 times the value of maximum frequency content omega m. Okay, so this theorem in this case is called as successful recovery or oversampling. Okay, now there is a phenomena called as aliasing. Okay, so what is aliasing? So aliasing is also called as undersampling, and it happens when omega s, the sample frequency, is less than 2 times omega m. Okay, so in this condition this is called as aliasing and it is not allowed. Okay, and the phenomena is undersampling. So in this case, whenever the undersampling will occur, so the frequency spectrum of the sampled signal s omega will be like, when n is equal to 0, then we will have m omega, and the next portion will overlap with the previous one. Okay, so in this way we can see that the frequency components are overlapping to each other in the sampled signal. So in this case the signal cannot be recovered. So original signal cannot be recovered from its सैम्पल्स। ओके, सो जो भी हमारा कंटिन्यूस टाइम सिग्नल है उसको जो हमने सैम्पलिंग करी, देन जो उसके सैम्पल्स आएंगे, जब भी हम उसको रिकवर करना चाहेंगे तो हम ईजिली उसको रिकवर नहीं कर पाएंगे इन केस ऑफ एलियासिंग, जब जो सैम्पलिंग फ्रिक्वेंसी है अगर वो लेस है 2 टाइम्स द वैल्यू ऑफ ओमेगा एम से। सो इन दिस वे यू हैव सीन दैट S omega shown here shows that if omega S is greater than omega m, then we can successfully recover the signal. So here we can say that this is omega m and this is omega S. This is the sampling frequency omega S. Okay, so whenever we wanted to recover the signal, then we wanted to recover a portion here. Okay, the portion shown by this. So this portion we wanted to recover because this is the Fourier transform for the original signal. So if you wanted to recover this signal from, so we wanted to apply a low pass filter here. This box shows the low pass filter, and whenever the recovery will be done, then the frequency response or the cutoff frequency of this low pass filter, okay, so the cutoff frequency will be like, let us see this filter as it is having a frequency, cutoff frequency omega c. Okay, so omega c must be greater than, so this is the value of omega c here. This is omega c, so the omega c will be greater than omega m. Omega c will be greater than omega m, and it must be less than omega s minus omega m, because this portion is also omega m. So the value here we can say that this is omega s minus omega m. Okay, because this complete portion is omega s, as you can see this complete portion is omega s. Okay, and the value, this value only is omega m. Okay, so if omega s में से omega m माइनस कर देंगे, then we will arrive to this value. Okay, so the cutoff frequency omega c for the low pass filter will be greater than omega m, m will be less than omega s minus omega m. So to recover the signal we use a low pass filter where the frequency response or cutoff frequency of the low pass filter will be like it is greater than omega m, omega c, and omega c will be less than omega s minus omega m. And to successfully recover the signal from its sample, the omega s frequency of sampling must be greater than 2 times omega m. Okay, so in this way you have seen what is Nyquist sampling theorem. Now let us see what is sampling rate. So we will define a Nyquist rate, also called as sampling rate. So Nyquist sampling rate. So Nyquist sampling rate is represented by omega ny, which is equal to 2 times omega m, and omega m is the maximum frequency content. Also, if you wanted to see in terms of frequency, so f Nyquist frequency is equal to 2 times omega m. Okay. Now we will see one more thing here, that is Nyquist interval. So Nyquist interval is T ny, which is equal to 1 divided by f Nyquist frequency. So it is equal to 1 by 2 times f m. Sorry, here it will be equal to maximum frequency fm. Okay, so in this way today we have learned about the Nyquist sampling theorem, and we have seen what is Nyquist sampling rate, fny, the frequency of Nyquist frequency, and the sampling frequency must be greater than 2 times omega m. So this is the boundary condition. Above that frequency, if the sampling frequency is above the Nyquist sampling frequency, then the signal will be recovered successfully from its samples. Let us see what are the different frequency components present in S omega. Okay, so frequency components. Present in S omega, or we can say S f. So here you can see that the different frequency components that are present are, or will be given by n fs sampling frequency plus minus f naught. Okay, so whatever will be the frequency, so plus minus n fs, this will gives us the Nyquist, this will give us the frequency components present in the sampled signal. Now if for we will study some formula for problems. So if we are having a signal yt, which is the multiplication of two signals, say m1t and m2t, then what will be the maximum frequency content? So omega m will be equal to sum, okay, of omega m1 प्लस ओमेगा m2. तो दोनों सिग्नल्स के जो भी फ्रीक्वेंसी कंपोनेंट्स होंगे, मैक्सिमम फ्रीक्वेंसी कंपोनेंट्स, उनको ऐड कर देंगे तो हमें yt सिग्नल के लिए ओमेगा m की वैल्यू पता लग जाएगी when the signals are multiplied. Second, if yt is equal to mt signal to the power n, okay, nth power, then omega m for yt, that is, can be represented as omega m dash. If mt has the component omega m, then omega m dash for yt is equal to n multiplied by omega m. Now third, if two signals are added, say yt is addition of two signals, that is m1t plus m2t, then omega m will be maximum of the two frequency components omega m1 ओमेगा m2. तो दोनों में से जो भी बड़ी फ्रीक्वेंसी होगी that will be considered as omega m for yt. Okay, so some of the problems that you will see in your RTU exam in the previous question paper for 2018 exam, you can see these formulas will be applied to those problems. Also, they can ask for you for different frequency components present in signal. So whatever the signal frequency will be, it will be plus minus n or fs. So sampling frequency should be given there. So let us quickly revise what we have learned today. We have learned what is Nyquist sampling theorem. तो whenever जो continuous time signal है, it will be converted to sampled signal, and after the successful use, we wanted to successfully recover the signal mt in continuous time from its discrete time domain part, that is the sampled signal. So in this case, if the frequency is of sampling omega s is greater than 2 times omega m, then the signal will be successfully recovered. Else the signal cannot be recovered from its samples, and the phenomena is called as undersampling or aliasing, when the sampling frequency omega s is less than 2 times omega m. So 2 times omega m, this will be the Nyquist sampling rate defined by omega ny, and the Nyquist frequency is equal to 2 times fm. Also, you have seen Nyquist interval, that is t and y, which is the reciprocal of Nyquist frequency. Also, you have seen some of the formulas for problem solving in Nyquist sampling theorem. So this is all for today, and stay tuned for more video lectures. Thank you.